My name is Leroy Tyler. I'm with Quantum Natural Health and Wellness Practice, and we have some information we want to impart to you about a story that shows how effective this technology is and this practice is. It involves a young child who, at the age of 4 months, contracted meningitis. And from 4 months to the age of 5 years, he's never spoken until last month after he received treatment, which helped him to regenerate the cells in his brain to come to the point of being able to speak. We have the mother and grandmother here that's going to give you the information about this child's amazing story and to give you some insight on how this could be a help to you. At this time, I'd like to introduce Miss Jessica Todd, the grandmother of young Mr. Thomas Todd, and also Miss Jamaica Todd, the mother of young Thomas Todd. Could you please let the people looking at this video know what is the history of what happened and to the extent of what happened to him and got him to the point now that he is in terms of his improvement?
Well, when Thomas was born, he was born with a umbilical cord wrapped around his throat and his body. And of course, in that process, he was he was delivered and then snatched back in. When the doctor removed the umbilical cord off from around him, we realized that he had lost a little oxygen. So we knew it might be some damages there, but we wasn't going to be sure until he got a little older. When he got about 4 months old, he contracted meningitis. And of course, it was some things that was going on with him. We rushed him to the hospital and they did a spine tap on his back. And from there, they realized he had meningitis. Shortly after that, like maybe a month or two later, he started having seizures. And what a nurse explained to me that the reason why the seizures were occurring was after the meningitis. Yeah, because of the meningitis.
Yes.
But we was looking for a more holistic way of treating him. They wanted to do some different treatments with him, like medically, different medications, but we refused it. We also didn't at that time do any shots on him because a lot of the shots have different type of mercury, different type of things in them. So we were trying to go the most holistic way. We utilized chiropractic and natural herbs, and we really started to watch his diet. And I think that was one of the key things that that has brought him to where he is today.
So basically, for the duration of the time, when 4 months to now, he had never spoken.
No, he has never spoken.
So basically, what was the prognosis that was given to him concerning the health professionals who examined him in terms of his prospects for recovery?
As far as the talking goes, no one has never really said anything about his inability to talk. They just stated that he was delayed. So they never really, now his speech teacher said that eventually at some point in time he would talk, but we could never tell. We had no time frame of that happening. So he has not spoken from now until last month. How did you hear about the practice? Mr. Barr had was sharing. We were talking. He was working on a project with me. And I was sharing him information about my grandson, and then he shared the information about Dr. Peterson with me and said he was thinking that it might really help him. And it has. It has been a tremendous help.
When did he first receive treatment?
About a month ago.
How long after the treatment did he start talking?
It was actually probably about 3 weeks after that, because he had went to, it was the end of the school year. The teachers didn't tell me until afterwards, until after we had until he actually spoke. The teacher said that he was doing more sounding He was being more vocal
Okay.
with his sounds.
Okay.
But she didn't think nothing of it. She just thought, well, in the school year, he was actually starting to elevate. And then the speech teacher really didn't see any difference, but I didn't share with her what treatment we had done.
Okay.
It was until his occupational therapist came over to the house, and she was just making same gestures she normally made, telling us, come help me take the bean bags up the steps. Come help me pull the luggage, different toys and stuff she bring to do with him. She brought it in and she asked him to assist her with it. And then he started to respond. And that's when he said yes to her. And then she said, oh my God.
Did you hear him say yes then?
Yes.
Okay, what was your first reaction when you heard that?
Well, first of all, I was shocked. And I was like, did he really say it? And then I started crying.
Okay, so that was your first view. That was tears of joy.
Absolutely.
Mommy, what was it like for you the first time you heard him
I wasn't there. I was at the dentist. And when my mama told me, I was like kind of shocked because I was like, he ain't never really said anything. Like we taught him a lot or whatever. So his like I didn't see it, but when she told me, she was like, you won't believe what Tommy said today. And I was like, what did he say today? She was like, he said yes. And I was so shocked. And I was like, he said what? And like now he just been the same way. Like we get him, we talk to him, we say apple, say what he want, and he says it. He like he don't say apple, but he say the letter.
Okay.
So it's coming.
Well, what was the reaction of his therapist when she heard him talk?
Oh, her reaction was flown. She just went straight to the floor because they was on the step.
Okay.
And she said, wait a minute. I got to get myself together. And she sat down on the steps and she said, so you mean to tell me this is the first time you've heard this? And I said, yes, this is the first time I've heard him say this. And then so she said, okay, we're gonna continue therapy, but I'm just gonna move a little slowly in therapy. And so then she asked him to pass her the bean bags back. Like first she said, will you give me the blue bean bags? So he gave her the blue, and then she said green, then she said yellow. And then what was the shocking thing was she said, now pass me the red one. He said red.
Wow.
So, and from that session on, he sat at the table, they sat down, they came down, she was just like still excited. And they sat down, and throughout the whole entire section, she started telling him, she was telling him to say his colors, and every color she said, he said it with her and behind her. So.
Okay, so this is just the beginning of this therapy, and he's starting to show this type of response.
Correct.
Okay, you don't know who you're holding now in terms of his future now because of the fact that you don't know what his prospects are for what he's going to be able to do in life because he's on his way.
Right.
Yeah, so there's no telling what the Lord has planned for him as he's able to communicate with people.
And you don't want me to tell it either, do you?
But also it said that I heard that basically he was really hyper at times when, in terms of his heart because of his energy but now you notice that there's a difference in terms of how he's more mellow in terms of his activity and being able to be more calm.
Right. They gave us some vitamins, some calm and
Stay calm.
Stay calm.
Yes.
Right. And definitely when we first start, don't tell them, I'm gonna tell them anyway. The stay calm really, like at night, it will calm him down and mellow him out to sleep and rest. Sometimes the brain is real active.
Yes.
When you're resting, you're thinking that you're not sleeping. Or you're thinking you're sleeping, but you're not resting, and the brain can be very active.
Yes.
So what I saw was that he was more relaxed and sleeping than much more. So he is a pretty hyper person, and most people think that a lot of people say, well, does he have autism? But he's been tested for autism and he's exempt. What the diagnosis is delayed.
Okay.
It's just a learning delay. And Yes, because of the speech.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you sharing the information from Mr. Tony Barnes telling you about this process.
Right.
You're going to be able to give a lot of people hope that what it might be going on in their personal lives with their children themselves, there's a way to have this dealt with. So we're going to keep progress with you, up with his progress, to show what his development is like, so we can have a record to show how he's moving along. And we're very, very hopeful that this process is going to go ahead and get him completely to the point where he's current with his development. He can go ahead and move on with his little life and be successful.
So, Grandma, what do you think about the changes, the difference in the second session?
Well, this session, he looks more calmer. Of course, he's being more vocal right now. Believe it or not, these sounds in speech are very, very important. They are the sounds that babies make when they first begin starting to talk. And so what that means is that he's using the vocal cords so that his speech is starting to develop.
Right.
So this is great, believe it or not.
And he didn't have use of it before.
Well, he was not even
utilizing it.
exercising it. It's like, you know, I was an aerobics instructor for years, and one girl I know, one of my co-workers told me, she said it's very important to exercise your body, but do we think about exercising our minds? So our brain has to be exercised. And what I learned with Thomas is that not only do our brain, but our vocal cords, we take the simplest, I've taken such simple things so granted. We take it for granted that our children would automatically speak, that they're going to automatically walk. You know, you just take those things so simple, you know, that they're going to be able to see. We take all those things so for granted that they're going to happen. But when they don't happen, and in Thomas' case, it's been a process. You know, the walking's been a process, the seeing, the talking, everything has been a process. So this is a process. We're at a point where he's delayed, but not so severe that we can't repair it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just want to see if Thomas can come across the room and show me that he still got some energy enough to walk across the room. I know he got some plenty of it.
Yeah, he's ready. Come back over, Thomas. Come back
He does
over.
seem a little more balanced.
He don't show you he can jump. Come on, jump on over. And walk on over to me. Come over. Walk on over to me.
Okay. Show him LeBron James video.
The doctor said early in stages of the meningitis that he wouldn't walk, he wouldn't jump.
Wow.
So we wasn't expecting any of this. We didn't know how he was going to really develop because he was only 4 months old. So we didn't know what we would see. So just to see him jump like that with coordination, we take these things for granted.
Right.
So
On top of him being able to be potty trained now and say his colors and other gestures and words, what else have you noticed that since that one session last month? What else has improved? Because I know you told me a number of things with him speaking and saying actual words. But jumping and all this stuff, is it new as well as potty training and other vocal sounds that he's making?
being more aggressive.
Okay.
You know, taking chances, doing stuff himself.
Yeah.
He's being more aggressive about his life and being more independent.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, like I said, thanks again for your testimony. And man, he should be doing great, man. He's just getting his burning his energy off. Thanks to Salahuddin and Dr. Peters. Thank you always for your expert advice.
Okay, thank you for looking at this video. If you have any questions, please look at the information, the contact information on the video, and good health.